Hello, everybody, and welcome to the channel. My name is Japleen Kaur, and I'm a Salesforce consultant based out of Canada. This series or this video is all about Omni Studio and its various tools. So, probably if you are here to this channel for the very first time, I will place a link somewhere here at the top so that you can go in and see. You can probably take a look at the overview of Omni Studio and its tools that we have talked about in the previous video. In this video, we are going to talk about Turbo Extract DataRaptor. So without any further ado, let's get started and see what this is all about. Before we get started, the agenda for this video is going to be what is Turbo Extract DataRaptor and when to use this. How to create DataRaptor, we are going to do practice hands-on in our Salesforce orgs to see exactly how we can go in the Omni Studio app and we can create a DataRaptor, how we can configure the DataRaptor, and finally debugging the DataRaptor. And I believe that's the most important step of everything else. So what is DataRaptor Turbo Extract? So we talked about DataRaptors in our previous video where we talked about that DataRaptor is probably of four different types: Turbo Extract, Extract, Load, and Transform. Um, Turbo Extract DataRaptor is used when we want to retrieve data from a single Salesforce S object. Now, this S object can be a custom object, a standard object, a custom metadata, external objects, and so on. Since it is used to get data from a single Salesforce object, therefore, it is said that it is better in performance as compared to other data raptors. There are two types of data raptors when it comes to extracting data. One is turbo extract, and the another one is extract data raptor. So turbo extract comes into picture when we want to extract data from one Salesforce S object, whereas extract comes when we want to fetch data from multiple objects at the same time. Now, talking about what it doesn't support formulas. We'll talk about it in our upcoming videos as well. Second thing, there's no output tab, so you can't use mappings to structure the output. When we'll configure our data raptor, we'll see that data comes in the form of a JSON. And in Turbo Extract Data Raptors, there is no way where we can structure the output data. And third, but not the last, custom JSON default values and translations are not supported in Turbo Extract. Now we are going to do the actual hands-on exercises in our Salesforce org. Again, if you do not know where to get an Omni Studio configured Salesforce org, I will place a link in the description from where you can go in and you can sign up for your Salesforce org. I have logged into my Salesforce org, and Sales app was the default app that I was taken to. In the app launcher, search for Omni Studio app. This is how the Omni Studio app console navigation menu looks like. We can create Omni scripts, flex cards, data raptors, integration procedures. Since we have to create a data raptor, I would select Omni Studio data raptor. These are some of the sample or pre-configured data raptors that were already created in the Salesforce org, or it comes with your Salesforce developer org. Click New. Give a name to your data raptor. Now, in this example, we are going to see a scenario in which we will be fetching contact records. So I will give a name, get contact details. This is a turbo extract data raptor. I will keep them as it is and I will say save. Right here, we have to give name of the object from which we are to fetch data. So I'll say contact. In our last video, I mentioned that DataRaptor is nothing but sockles. In sockles, we used to write the query in the form of, for example, contact list equals select ID comma name from contact. So here comes the name of the object. Extract output path is nothing but the JSON node in which our records will go into. Filter, let's say where ID is not equal to null. Now in Omni Studio, in order to give a null check, this is a syntax that we have to follow, where ID is not equals to null. Okay, and I would say here that I want to get the contact name, and let's see the preview of it. Okay, I'll say execute. And this is the list of contact that I get from my query results. Now, before jumping into the conclusion, let me go step by step. So in this extract tab, we have to define the object from which we have to fetch data, the output node. If you see here, we have received our data in the form of a JSON, and this contact list is nothing but our JSON node. Here we can give the filter such as ID is not equals to null. Now this is a syntax $velocity.null when it comes to Omni Studio components. Here I can give all the fields that I want to fetch. Like for example, name, I can fetch birthday, I can fetch account details. Now here I can see I can just fetch account ID, and this is where we can say we can select the related objects. Now it by default gives us all the list of the objects that are related to contact object. I can see a contact.account, and I say that I want to get the name of the account as well. So I can select them. And now I can go right into my preview. I can say execute, and this is how I get my details. So in our contact list node, I get first of all details of my account, that is account, ID and name, and I get my related contact details, that is name, account ID and ID. Let's see what this option tab consists of. We have an option in our Omni Studio DataRaptors where we can go in and we can cache our response data. There are two types, session cache and org cache. So suppose I select session cache and I select 20. This would mean that the data in my DataRaptor would be cached for 20 minutes. We can cache our data so that the data will always be there in the storage for next 20 minutes before another server call is hit. Check field level security. If I check this or if I enable this, it would mean that any user who is accessing this DataRaptor would be restricted when it comes to field level security, or basically they cannot access certain fields if they cannot access certain fields if they don't have the permission to do it. Okay, so these are some of the configuration options that comes with Turbo Extract DataRaptor. Now let's talk about some more scenarios. Let's say, for example, I want to say where account ID is not equals to null. I go here and I say preview and I say execute. So again, I would get my query results. If I see in my debug log, I can see my query formed such as select ID, account.name, birthday, name from contact where account ID is not equals null and limit 50,000. Now what if I want to predefine my limit? From where I can do this in the DataRaptor? We can do it from here. This is where we were writing our query. We see a small drop down arrow here, and here we can set our limits. Suppose I say that I want to get just 2 records. I will go here, I will say execute, and I would be getting just 2 records here. Okay, let's see what other options we have here. We have, okay, let me just remove this and see once again. I can set and suppose I want to say where account name is equals to something. So for this, let us open a sales app again, just to take some of the account names. I would go here and suppose Acme is the name that I want to use. Let's see if Acme has any related contacts. Yes, it does. It has 4 related contacts. Okay. So I say I want to get the account name, but I can see here that we don't have account.name option. So how to fetch or how to query? Here we can say account.name, same as we do in our SOQL queries, where account.name is equals to, we used to do like in SOQL, where account.name like, and I can say Acme. Let's remove this. Oh, let's keep it actually. I go here and I say execute, and I would be getting the details like Edward, we got Leon, we have Edward, and then we have Howard, we have Jeff, and these are the 4 contacts that were queried into our DataRaptor. I can put order by, and I want to say order by name. I go back here. Actually, let me do one thing. Let me remove account.name. I go here, I say preview, and I can see the names getting ordered by. We have the names Edward, Howard, Jeff, and Leon. So this was all about Turbo Extract DataRaptor. We talked about how we can configure our SOQL query, how we can do a query on the basis of our parent record, how we can put in fields that we had like our query to fetch for us, what are some of the configuration options that we can do, and how we can preview or debug our Turbo Extract response. So this was all about Turbo Extract DataRaptor. Thank you for watching this. Stay tuned for the next video where we are going to talk about Extract DataRaptor. Don't forget to subscribe. Thank you once again.